The Jim Dandy Day $100 budget edition of the Notorious OTB on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And folks, as always,
it's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse Magazine. I got my Cuban link.
Yes, Cuban B.
And I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oaklawn.
I'd rather be trapped than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what pays me.
It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves get good. Oh!
Yes. And joining me, as always, you might know him as the Michelangelo of the Crying Michael Jordan. He's your favorite capper's favorite cap. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry the Sniper Spears.
Hey, don't rub on that. You block that. You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
What's up, Barry? What's good?
Not much. Hanging in there. It's Thursday. The long show day. So
I prefer the big show. The big show sounds more like
big show.
Anticipatory instead of like the long show day. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I got you. The big show. The big show, yeah.
The big show, if you will.
Yeah.
The big show.
Chilling.
Yeah, man. Have you watched any of today's results at Saratoga so far?
No, actually. Anything good happen?
I haven't been paying attention. I've been getting ready for this. Which is probably, you know what? It's a good time to probably kick off what we're going to be talking about. That's right. Barry said it. I said it. It's the Thursday big show, folks. And as is the tradition for this time of year, we're pretty focused on Saratoga. And they've got a great card with some of the summer's bigger races, one of those name brand races on the docket. Barry and I have dug through the Saratoga Saturday Jim Dandy Day card from the rooter to the tooter to find our very best strategy for how to wager $100 on that Saratoga card. That's right. We're talking Saratoga this Saturday, the 26th of July, year of our Lord, 2025. Post time for the card, 12:35 Eastern, 11:35 a.m. God's time, 9:35 a.m. Pacific time, out on the Pacific Coast. And if you're not familiar with the rules, it's easy. We can play any race, use any wager type, as long as we keep it to $100, whatever makes that cash money. Barry, what did you think of the card overall here?
It's a good card. I mean, it's not what you expect on a bigger day. There's some, conditioned claimers in there, but I mean, they're competitive races. They're, bigger than normal fields. So I think we're going to get some good racing on Saturday at Saratoga.
All right. Well, Barry, you fire the first shots of today's $100 budget because you've got a win bet coming out of race 4 right out of the gate. Well, I say right out of the gate. I say right out of the gate because I played some of the race 4 also. But you've got a win bet. This is your first play of the day. What are you doing with your win bet?
Yeah, so this is a $100,000 claimer going 1 1/8 on the main. And in this race, you got a horse in Arthur's Ride who is 4 to 5 on the morning line, and I just don't really like this horse very much. It's okay. Ran really good last year at Saratoga, but was gifted exceptional trips. And what I'm counting on is that not happening again, especially with this horse drawing the rail. Trademark has some speed to kind of give Arthur's Ride some competition early. Film Star will probably be pressing the pace to keep things going along. Even Kuchar might even get involved a little bit early. So that being said, there's some horses that kind of can get in Arthur's Ride's way. Thank you. Took me long enough. And even his Jockey Gold Club and the Breeders' Cup Classic last year were real duds. He didn't even get the lead in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So it has me doubting how good this horse actually fits in this spot. People are gonna think that he lays over this field, and I just don't buy it. He could win and win easy, but I'm still not gonna go for it at 4-5 or less. So I ended up on number 5, Big Blue Line. This horse has been running on turf and dirt and synthetic, but has some good races on the traditional dirt and 2 good races at Saratoga, no less. One was in the slop, one's on a fast track, pretty much at the same level. Got claimed last time, which was kind of bizarre. You don't see horses get claimed out of $75,000 claim very often, but this is a stakes type horse where they can probably turn around and get return on this horse. Even though he's a 6-year-old gelding, they still are trying to squeeze some money out of it. But I think the running style fits. This horse could be close enough against this kind of competition. You'll see back last year, this horse didn't fare so well in stakes competition, but did fare well in competition at this level. So I think that's going to happen again. Running style fits, like I said. All systems go for this race. Dutrow does really well turning horses back around, new acquisitions and such. I think Arthur's Ride is in trouble here, and we're going to go with number 5, Big Blue Line, to the hoop in race number 4.
Well, you say Big Blue Line to the hoop. I got a different opinion, my man.
The battle begins.
We got differing opinions here. Real quick, though, Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32 NFL team previews. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 Circa future. All right, Barry, I went the exact opposite direction that you went here. I'm playing in race 4 a $10 daily double, 1 with 9. I am singling Arthur's Ride here. So in race 4, depending on what you think of the Jim Dandy Stakes today, I think this could be, in my opinion, the most logical winner on the card. I thought basically the opposite of Barry. I thought that this one kind of towers over the field, and you're seeing a morning line that reflects that fact. So the question becomes, how do I make money off of a horse that's 4-5 on the morning line and is likely to be bet accordingly in the win pool? I mean, you either got to stretch this into a vertical or a horizontal bet, and that's what I decided to do, and I decided to take it horizontal with the daily double and go ice cold. I opted to not key on top in a vertical bet because it's a small field size of 6, and every variation of Arthur's Ride in first in the exacta is going to be absolutely slammed. I think I could get, though, 10-1, if not way more with this double. And it's a double with 2 horses are the kind of horses that I want to single, a.k.a. Making their own race. So in race 4, I'm singling Arthur's double.
Yes, I'm singing. I want to mingle.
You want to mingle?
Yeah.
And then I'm taking it into race 5, the 5.5 furlong, $35,000. Not only is a 2-something lifetime. I'll use that one. Claiming, and it's on the melon turf. And I'm going ice cold to yet another horse. But then I've got an opinion that I'm going to press with this horse here. I'm rounding out my ice cold double with the horse that I think can get out in front, take the race gate to wire. I also get a jockey who's been riding extremely well as of late, doing it with aggressive up front kind of rides. My single to round out the double is going to be number 9, Corongo here at 9-2. And if you believe the early pace figures from Timeform, then this is the horse that should be controlling things out front. Anecdotally, it seems like you put yourself in the front on the melon in these sprint races, good things kind of happen. The effort over this track last out was lackluster with a little bit of a speed and fade. but he was facing tougher. And I think that this horse is being raced into shape a little bit with no published works since the week before that June 27th race. So I'm thinking Last Out could have been sort of a paid workout on this turf track. Plus, you draw Jose Ortiz, which is a huge upgrade. My spidey senses are tingling all over with this one. So I'm rounding out my daily double with the 9 Carongo at 9-2. I mentioned that I was going to press my opinion here. So in race 5, I'm also actually playing a $5 exacta 9 over the 267. If I think Carongo will win with Jose up, let's try to connect something vertically here. I'm using the 2 underneath Cousin Ed at 8-1 because Cousin Ed should be near the back of the pack and has some ability to get up and probably get a piece late. And then I'm also going to be using the 6 Unbroken Chain at 6-1 and the 7 Side Eye at 5-1 because I think both stand to get kind of the same trip. Being a little wide stocking position behind the speed of Carongo, and both offer potentially pretty good exacta payouts for $5. So that was a $10 ice cold daily double starting in race 4, 1 with the 9, and then pressing the opinion with the 9 with the $5 exacta in race 5, 9 over 267. Barry, you got active here in race 5. And you decided to stretch it out horizontally. What are you doing in this 5.5 furlong, $35,000 non-2 lifetime claimer?
Did you say 10-1 on that double?
I think you would get 10-1 with Arthur's Ride in that 9.
You sure about that?
Big field size. I think so. I think you will.
No way.
Gentleman's bet. Do we kind of shake on it?
Yeah, because Jose Ortiz is going to be favored in that race. I know the morning line's 4-1, but he's going to be way less than that. I'd say if you get 5-1, you'd be doing a lot. It might even be less than that, depending on what Arthur's Ride goes off as. That's why I was kind of trying to beat him.
Then here's the question, though: what do you think is the best paying exacta with Arthur's Ride on top in a 6-horse race?
Oh no, it's just terrible. That's why it's. I don't think you'll get anything out of that if Arthur's Ride wins. That's why you got to play against, or at least I play against those kind of horses in situations like this, because if they lose, you might be there to pick up the pieces. If they win, you're not really missing much. So I tend to either go away from horses like Arthur's Ride or not play the race at all. But we'll see. We got the gentleman's bet going. But
that's right.
In race 5, I'm going with a $15 double, and I use 2 horses in race 5. And I use Unbroken Chain, who really improved once hitting the grass. And I think this horse is trying to figure it out. Gets a jock upgrade to Bridgemahan, who, occasionally throws in great rides. And I think this horse is flying a little bit under the radar. His speed figures on the turf, which are kind of shaky at best, but in comparison to everybody else, would be competitive in this spot. Not to mention that horse was wide in both of those trips, gets a little bit of post relief. I think this horse may be able to turn it around. And I'm also using the 7 Side Eye, kind of for the same reasons. You'll see the last 3 races this horse had, he was 9 out of 10 in the 9 spot, 9 post position out of 10. 12 out of 12, and then 9 out of 9. I think the post relief is going to make a huge difference here, because this horse has one of the better speed figures of anybody in this race on the turf. That being said, getting Luis Saez 5-1-ish, I don't know. It's going to be tough to read. I really think the 9 is probably going to take a lot of the action because of the drop in class. But a horse like the 7 would probably take some money too, just not too much. I'm not sure. I think about 4-1 is probably where we'll be. So we're going to use the 6 Unbroken Chain and the 7 Side Eye to start the $15 double.
Rolling it into race 6, 8.5 furlongs, $95,000. 9 winners of 1 something. I'm not here to read your fucking conditions. New York bred.
I was steep raised. You think I'm scared to catch a case? Want some bullshit?
allowance on the inner turf. How are you rounding out this daily double, Barry?
Yeah, this is a kind of tough race. I mean, a lot of these horses on paper look quite the same. But when you dig a little deeper, there's some horses that just aren't that fast. When you weed those out, there's only a few of these that can probably win. I'm going with number 12 as a single in my double, Bryant and Cooper. This horse came back off a layoff from November 2nd to June 29th, 2025. One, improved the speed figure 18 points for Chad Brown, who got Lasix the first time. Lasix and blinkers, the makeover package that first time. There's no world beaters in here, so the post position didn't scare me away. I just think this horse has a lot of upside in a race that, is kind of wishy-washy. So we're going to go with the 12, Brian and Cooper, to finish off our $15 double.
He's wrapping up the Time Lord special $15 double here. I've got to play, actually. I've got a winner in an exacta in race 6. But real quick, got to get a word in for the Circa Million and the Circa Survivor, because that's right, the world's greatest sports book. Circa Las Vegas is hosting the world's biggest pro football contests, the Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $20 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true degen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with the SGPN crew at the Circa contest weekend, April 21st to the 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And don't forget, we're also brought to you by our good friends at Underdog. They got Best Ball Mania happening all summer long. $15 million in guaranteed prizes, including a $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play pick'em. You can win up to 500 times your entry. So sign up for promo code SGPN to claim your credit, plus special first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And if you excuse me, I need to get a brief rehydration interlude in.
There was a gambling incident, and I need.
So the gambling incident here is that you and I don't see the things the same way. Once again,
Typically
this time
don't.
in race 6.
It's really weird that we don't. Or I mean, every once in a while, like we do actually really well with horses we are in lockstep with.
This is true. Well, bad news. We're not in lockstep here. I'm playing a $20 win on the number 5 Sail with the Wind. And then I'm also going to be playing a $5 exacta 5 over the 1 to 11, because it seems like both of these turf courses got a little speedy last week. And there is, of course, some rain in the forecast, and Saratoga is prone to some pop-up storms. So, the turf could maybe be a little less speed favoring, but as of right now, I mean, pretty speed favoring. So I'm taking the horses that should hit the first turn on the lead in the field with absolutely no other horses that really want to go. This is another turf route race where I do the more shameful shit, and I think every sprint race falls apart. Well, I'm thinking every route race gets wired here. All right, so I'm doing a $20 win on Sail with the Wind at 8-1 here. Sail with the Wind is the horse that I think makes the front and walks the dog with a pack of horses that got no business near the front and need some pace to target. If Sail with the Wind breaks clean, then I think Katie Davis can get this one to the front. And this turf starts are few and far between, but the efforts on the turf have been good. And Jeremiah Englehart has really been spotting them up pretty good so far, going 2 for 3 in his last starts at the meet. So maybe this is another really well-met horse that I can, bet to win and key. And so I'm doing that also with the $5 exacta, putting him over the 1, 2, and 11. I think I'm going to key that early speed And I'm going to put the 1 Rogana at 8-1 and the number 2 Bunny Honey at 20-1 underneath, because those are the horses I think would get around, or get ground saving trips here and could, tip out to get a piece or find a hole after a pocket trip. And then the 11 Bertrill at 15-1. We'll get more of the wide stalking trip here, and I think it's another big price that you could get underneath. So I'm kind of throwing out a YOLO type exacta here. 5 with the 1, 2, 11 with some big prices underneath. Barry, any thoughts? Any thoughts on that play? Do you like that horse at all?
The 5 horse I did take a long look at. I was just kind of worried because the horse hasn't won in a couple years. Didn't run all that much, only a couple of times, really 5 times in that span. But it's hard to tell. This is a tough race, to be honest with you. It could come from anybody. Like in a multi-race situation, I would tend to spread in a race like that.
There we
Even
go.
though I singled the 12 here, I would spread in a different situation.
Like a pick 5 or a pick 4.
Yeah, or something starting in that race, I would spread out a little bit.
There we go. Well, Barry, you've got your next play. It's another daily double. This one starts out of race 7. We're doing 6 furlongs, $100,000 maiden special weight on the dirt. And it's a whole bunch of babies here, 2-year-old fillies. What are you doing this leg of the daily double?
Yeah, so this is a nice race as far as, a starting point for a lot of these horses. It's hard to tell how good this race is going to be, and that's kind of why I picked the horses I did from the bigger outfits in this race. A horse like Alpenglow really kind of caught my attention, but the rail is not the best draw for a first-time starter, and I don't think this horse is blazingly fast, although probably could get the lead, but I just don't think that horse is the one here. I used 2 horses in this race, Immortalize, the 8, and the 9, Academia. And the funny thing about this is all of these siblings of this horse, or these 2 horses, have been trained by the trainers that are training these horses now, which could kind of give them an advantage. They know these horses. So I would say this spot is probably more likely for them to win than any other, at least first time out. I'll give them a shot. They're both 5-1 morning line. And good works in tow. In fact, Academia has one July 13th that was really good. Might even be the best on the page. The July 13th, 47-1, breezing from the gate, 6 out of 155 that day. Manny Franco's aboard. Chad Brown, one of Chad Brown's go-to riders. And then Immortalize with Brad Cox gets Irad Ortiz, who doesn't really ride a whole lot for Brad Cox. But this horse has some good works, a couple of longer ones in there that I think might go a long way in a race that's kind of wide open. There's not much form to go off of either.
There we go. He kicks it off with 2 first-time starters, one for Go Dolphin, because that's our Dolphin, and then one for the man who looks like the guy who put together Jurassic Park, Mr. Peter Brandt. Dino DNA. All right,
I still don't understand why that DNA has a southern accent. Doesn't make any sense.
Because it makes it more delightfully homespun. It makes you more trusting of it. Probably not though.
Not me. Maybe somebody else.
Yeah, for me it sounds like my grandpa. For you, okay, probably a different context.
A little different.
A little different. Look at Barry and I tackling the hard subjects. All right, Barry, I got my play here in race 8, the $95,000 non-winners of 1 something allowance. I'm playing this one a little bit different. I've got a $20 win on the number 4 Blamaker, I guess, at 8-1, and I'm starting off a $5 daily double here, 2-4 to the 5. So here in race 8, for the most part, if you, like I said, if you put yourself at the front of these sprint races, up on the lead or near it, then good things are going to happen for you. And I liked the 2 horses that really looked like they were going to be up front and having kind of a ding-dong slapping contest, I think they call it. That's what the announcers call it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Totally. And I think they kind of easily pull away from this field with the lead. And I'm gonna use both here in the double because they're both fabulous prices at 5-1 and 8-1 respectively. And I'm going to win bet the longer price, the 4 Blamiker, because I think that's the horse that will either be on the lead or sitting off of the hip of number 2 Stewie. Blamiker ships in from Finger Lakes for Englehart. And I love betting Finger Lakes horses shipping to Saratoga because the prices stay fair. And I know I'm also taking the small fish in a big pond with Andrew Worry up in the irons, but I trust that IRAD on the front even less. I want I don't want any part of that. Who's who? The number 2 other speed Stewie gets. So I'm win betting the 4 Blamiker. I'm starting my daily double 2-4 with the 5. I'm rolling that into race 9, which is the 8.5 furlongs, $175,000 Lake George Stacks.
Wait.
Lake George Stakes.
I didn't finish out my double in race 8.
Ooh, you didn't. Well, there we go. Race 8.
Ah.
How are you finishing up that double?
We're using three horses in this race. The 1, Very Stormy, 21 morning line. I think this horse is a little bit sneaky. If you eliminate that horse's October 4th, 2024 race and the November 3rd race where this horse did absolutely 0 running, the other races aren't that bad. And in fact, this horse finished behind Tall Paul and Yo Banana Boy, who, if you recall, a couple weeks ago at the beginning of July, ran a bang-up race at the Spa and almost pulled off a whacker of a upset. That horse is kind of talented, and the horses in this race are okay. And given a good trip, Javi could put a ride on this horse and have this horse in good position. I think this horse is competitive in this spot, even though the last couple of speed figures say otherwise. But if you eliminate those other 2, probably needed the race on June 22nd. Showed a little bit of pace in that race, and they kind of spread out the field. It was only 6 horses, so I'm willing to forgive that one as well. So we're going to throw in the 1, Very Stormy. We're going to use the 3, Vakinda. And I say Vakinda because the sire is Vacoma and the dam is Vinda. So it's not Vakinda. That's how I would have said it normally, but
I'm glad you said that because I kind of would have made an ass of myself. Bam!
But this horse is another one. Been competitive in the state bred ranks. Deserves a shot at this one, even though this horse has been struggling on the win end. I think they fit well here. And then we're going to use the 5, Leo's Reward. Is another one who has some back form, kind of went off form, when they put this horse on the turf. Getting back to the dirt, cutting back in distance makes a whole lot of sense here. And we're going to use the 5, Leo's Reward as well. So $5 doubles, 8-9 with the 1-3-5.
Well, it's unfortunate that you have the donk horse and it sets up a situation where I could possibly get donked on here, which you always want to be the donker, never the
Yeah,
donkey.
you don't want to be the donkey, right?
No, never want to be the donkey. All right. I wrap up my daily double in race 9. The daily double, it started in race 8 with the 2-4. It is the Lake George. It is 8.5 furlongs. It is a grade 3, and it is for $175,000 running on the inner turf. Race 9. What am I doing? I am once again singled here. Let me see. Where's the second James Brown? We haven't used that one. There it is.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What'd you say?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh?
Huh?
I'm using the kind of horse that I think I want to be single with. It's the 5 Classic Q 2-1. Mark Cassie. He's been pistol hot this meet, hitting in 19% of the time. And I pulled these past performances on, I guess, Tuesday, Monday. So we'll see if it if it holds up. But I think that this horse just wins whenever he has slow paces. He gets a slow pace, he gets out, he wires the field. I think that's what Classic Q does here. I also misgendered that horse. I think that's what Classic Q she does here. With Jose Ortiz getting an aggressive ride again, going gate to wire. Classic Q. I'm gonna ask you what you think about the Lake George, of course.
It's a tough race. I actually thought the one Raining Flowers deserves a second look. But Classic Q is definitely the favorite. You're eating a lot of chalk today, huh? A lot of chalk.
Well, where I'm not necessarily eating it as much as I'm trying to utilize it like horizontally. Like it's not like I'm like win betting chalk or anything. How I hate when you feel. Well, I feel like you're disappointed in me. I always take that super personal. All right. Guys, I'm just saying. Okay, well, you're gonna
Your
be
dad
really
is like, you're disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
just I can't even look at you right now. I'm so disappointed. Oh my God, stop! You're all sorts of past trauma there, guys. Don't forget we're brought to you by mybookie.ag because MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, and they got easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And you've heard us talk about the good nerds at Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. Essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. They're giving you AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Listen, plus Power Trends, they're updated daily. They're exclusive to Rhythm. No outs, no noise, just clean, data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. And, guys, get your 7-day free trial. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. If you excuse me, I've got to get, yet again, a rehydration interlude in.
And I make nothing. Zero. Zilch. By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash. Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfless.
That's right. Barry and I are back. We're giving out free picks because we're selfless. My last play of my $100 comes out of the featured race for the day. Race 10, 9 furlongs, $500,000, the Jim Dandy Stakes. Fun fact, my mom grew up across the street from the manager of Black Oak, Arkansas, who did the song Jim Dandy.
Ooh.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
I'm putting my toes in the fuck chalk waters here. I am going to put a $10 win bet in this race on the number 3 Moplex at 10-1. Okay, I mean, I know there's some heavier hitters in this race, most notably Sovereignty. But you also have the likes of Baeza, too, who, made up a lot of the Triple Crown trifecta, as it turned out. But I do have an angle on how Moplex steals this. I honestly think that there's such an extreme pace scenario that will make some of these horses run in a style that's really kind of outside of their comfort zone of what they normally do. The only horse that's not going to be doing that in my book is Moplex at 10-1 on the morning line. And even though it's a 5-horse field, I think the price on Moplex goes up drastically. I know that the last out 96 buyer was at the Ohio Derby, but is Moplex maybe a late bloomer that's got a chance if he improves again? Even if that last figure was a perfect trip figure, I don't see where he doesn't get a perfect trip and every chance to win this race here. So Moplex, maybe, right? So I'll put the $10 to win on that Moplex because maybe I could see a world easily where Moplex maybe sneaks away on the front with the most passive jockey colony in the United States with Naira. They will let some shit go slow. Barry, of course, I need to know, what do you think about the Jim Dandy?
I like this pick a lot. Yeah, there's who's gonna pressure this horse? Nobody. Baeza doesn't want any part of that, even though he probably could. But other than that, there's nobody else. Hill Road does not want any part of anything to do with running early, as does Sovereignty. Although Sovereignty was kind of forwardly placed in the Belmont, but he still doesn't want to lead, and that could be his undoing. But we'll see. I like this pick though.
I hope that your admiration for the pick translates to me just hanging out, of course, and waiting until that great moment.
No regular why they pay me.
Right? Pay me.
That's right. Speaking of paying, folks, we have held back with our most juiciest morsels of the day to play in the final race, race 12. It's time for bailout bets. And someday there it is.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Barry, you saved a portion of your $100 budget bet for your bailout bet here in race 12, 8.5 furlongs, $50,000 maiden claimer on the inner turf. Barry, what are you doing? How are you closing out your $100 budget, and how are you closing out this card?
We're going to go a $20 win bet on number 10. Heads the risk from the Chad Brown barn. June 29th, this horse came off the bench from almost a year layoff to run a really good race in a $100,000 claimer. Dylan Davis chooses to stay here, and I think that's really what all this horse needed was a good run at it. They tried the dirt 3 times, got this horse on turf. Clearly this horse wants to be on turf, and it looks like the improvement is imminent. So 9-2 is a fair price in this race. So we're going to go $20 to win, and the bailout on number 10, hedge the risk.
Hedge the risk. He's taking it to the hoop. You don't have to go much further to see the respective hoop that I'm taking it to. I'm going to go with the number 12 Ski Bum at 15-1. I keep saying it. I believe it to be true. If you put yourself up front on this track, turf or dirt, good things will happen. I think Ski Bum makes the lead, and we'll see. We'll see if Thomas Proctor and a little bit of Lane Luzzy love gets the job done here in the finale with the 12 Ski Bum. Whew! Barry, I feel like we talked about damn near this whole card.
It was close, right? We got majority of the midsection of the card.
Yeah. Well, Barry, how do you feel about talking about pretty much the entirety of the card again, except this time with a little bit of a visual aid behind it?
Sometimes I think we have to.
Yeah, is mandatory.
Most of the time. All right, so my first play is race 4, $20 to win on number 5, Big Blue Line. Race 5, a $15 daily double. Number 6, Unbroken Chain, and number 7, Side Eye with the 12, Bryant and Cooper in race 6. Race 7, $5 double. The 8, Immortalize, and the 9, Academia with number 1, Very Stormy, number 3, Vakinda, and number 5, Leo's Reward in race 8. And the bailout bet, race 12, $20 to win on number 10, hedge the risk. Let's collect all this cash. Really, all we need is one of those, and we'll be all right.
That's all it takes is one sometimes, to quote Tenacious D. All right, here we go. My $100 budget plays for Saratoga this Saturday. You guys will have to DM me and let me know how these go, because I'm on my way to Alaska.
Oh, you'll be Alaskan. You'll be an Eskimo.
Yeah, sure. Race 4, $10 daily double.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Race 4, we've got a $10 daily double. 1 with the 9. Race 5, we're pressing that opinion with a $5 exact, and 9 with the 2, 6, 7. Race 6, we've got a $20 win on the number 5, and once again pressing the opinion with a $5 exacta, 5 over 1, 2, 11. Race 8, we got a $20 win on number 4, Blamaker, and we're playing a $5 daily double, 2, 4 to the 5, and then we finish it up with a $10 win in the Jim Dandy on Moplex. And don't forget, our bailout bet was Ski Bum, or I guess my bailout bet was Ski Bum in the final race, number 12.
Sounds like a sickness, right?
A bad case of Ski Bum.
Yeah.
That also sounds like it would be like a uniquely Canadian kind of affliction play. Well,
Might be.
yeah. Next thing you know,
Ask around when you're in Vancouver.
My goal is to get discovered in Vancouver and somehow become Canada's Seth Rogen, while Seth Rogen is America's Chase Sessoms. You see, it's all connected.
Flip it and reverse it.
Now flip it, nip it now. Barry, we probably need to mercifully end this here show. What do you say?
Yeah, good idea.
It's all right. Well, let me find just the perfect clip for us to ride out on. Oh man, he's not here, so I can't use this one. We'll go with a classic. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow with our best bets for the Del Mar Friday card that we may or may not put on our mama. Goodbye.